Wow, what a good panel that was. I was in the back trying to get ready for my speech, and I'm taking notes the whole time. So I hope you guys did too. I know we've tried to do an amazing job at providing content focused on growth, focused on what we can do here to really make a difference in our business. Those agents, let's give them a round of applause one more time if we can, please. That was really phenomenal. For those that don't know me, my name's Tom Ahles. I serve as the president of growth here with AIME. I also am a mortgage broker. I've been an originator since, it's been a long time now, 22 years in the industry, consistently trying to figure out what is the best ways that we can make an impact to serve our consumers better, what are the things that we can do that really make a difference in growth. For those of you that watched our Grow and Get It episodes, I've had the honor of meeting a lot of our top producing brokers, broker owners, and I'm hearing a lot of the same things that they talk about that I really want to share today, as well as talk about some of the other growth opportunities that I see in this market right now that will help fuel our growth going forward. Finding opportunity in tough times. We're there right now. It's, I know it's not a negative thing, but I also want to be realistic. Mortgage applications are down 61%, if I'm not mistaken, year over year. Yet we have a room full of people here. This is where the winners are, that are looking to get better, looking to make an impact in their community, and really find a way when you go home. I hope you got some notes from the last panel. I know, as I mentioned, I did. I'm going to share a couple things right now that I feel are a note that I hope you can take back to go home, implement, and really go out and grow and get it with that. This business is about relationships, and I think the majority of you, as I look around, I see a lot of faces that I know here that understand the value of creating and cultivating relationships. We talked, the one agent was talking about calling and saying, wow, rates, everybody expects to have great rates, right? We've got cheaper, faster, better. I talk about the economics of what we do for a living. To me, this is one of the best industries we could be in. We are in the business of selling money. Like, if there's not an industry that, if you wanted to be in sales, there is nothing better than being in an industry that has the highest sales value, that the most people that you can actually make an impact on, and we are the channel that is serving those consumers cheaper, faster, and better. How do we capitalize on that? First question I have is for many of you that are in your first year in business, and I've identified 6, I'm not going to call them out, it's with different companies, but I've met 6 new originators so far that didn't realize that this is a challenging market, right? They just started. There's a gentleman, I'll just call him initials or TZ, 62 purchases so far year to date in a market where he's not talking about where it was a year ago, where it was 2 years ago. He's focused on the efforts of what he's doing today, diving in on social media. Social media right now is a platform that gives you the ability to have the authentic interaction to where people get to know, like, and trust you. And for you that are here, that are top originators, that are originators trying to grow your business, this is key right now. It's free, which is one great thing. The other part is, you can be authentic. It doesn't all have to be. You heard it from the agents as well that were just up here. Are you diving in on social media and providing, okay, I believe she said 80%, hers was business, the other partnership. Are you doing that on a regular basis? These are things that we need to make sure that we are diving in. Our social media is one of the best places to be able to drive attraction. But we need to limit our time with it too to make sure. If you're doing 2, 3 posts a day, great. That's, maybe take a little time now with ChatGPT. I know it's made my life a heck of a lot easier with it. You're talking a couple of minutes, right? Spend that couple of minutes, knock that out, and get it done. Right now, one of the biggest successes that I've seen from originators in this market is finding a niche. And we all have, we'll hear about VA, right? To me, VA is one that I've always loved. It's a great niche, as a lot of originators shy away from it. If you're interested in learning more and serving veterans, dive in. I think having a niche is key. I will share a couple of the things that I did when I first got into this industry that I created a niche that was a little odd, right? I did in-home daycare. In-home daycare is one of those to where their numbers are public, they're in their community, they work from home. I phrased myself an in-home daycare specialist for a little bit. I think there was 10,000 licensed in-home daycares in my state. And I'm from Minnesota, so those are public everywhere. When we talk about growing our sphere of influence, growing the connections that we're making, I encourage you, ask yourself, what is the niche that you're focusing on? Faster, cheaper, and better are great. We heard it, that doesn't, everybody's saying that. So at that point, we need to dive in a little deeper and start to build those relationships. There's another originator that I did some coaching with. He started a website, and he was a second look loan officer. And I was like, man, that's an interesting one. You want to be the second look? He was like, yeah, I know that I can fix rescue deals. I'm very good at manual underwriting. Watching that guy still in this market, he'll probably do $65 million this year. Finding a niche and diving into it. Another idea that I want to share, and this is one that I learned at the UWM Advisory Council that I was on. I know we have a lot of our team members here from that today, is doing non-housewarming parties. Has anybody here, if I can show a raise of hands, anybody ever done a non-housewarming party? No? Good. My opinion, when somebody buys a new house, you used to do housewarming parties. Now, go to a restaurant, right? Take that group of people with 20 of their friends. You're going to spend maybe $200, $300, and you're going to buy them dinner and celebrate. You're going to meet their 10, 15 friends, tag them in a post, and guess what you just did? You created 10 more people in your sphere that you're growing, that you are going to be able to, if you're consistent with your message to them, you're showing up as somebody that they know, like, and trust, you're going to get business from that. If you're doing 3 transactions a month right now, or 5, how many people, if you did all 3 of those, they have 10 friends that they want to come and host a happy hour? You have to look at how can you dive deeper into relationships, as that is what this business is about right now. One of the other things I'm going to share that I really like as well, I did this test with a few of my team members, is even in your cell phone. If you pull out your cell phone today, I'm not going to make you like she did, pull it out and look up an Instagram thing, but look and see how many of the people that are even on your favorites list, do you know the buyer's agent that helped your friend? We talk about trying to make connections with people in a warm connection. There are so many warm connections for all of us that I want to make sure that we know how to tap into that, to where as you look at ways to where you grow your sphere of influence, you will grow your business. Call them. Hey, my neighbor John, and I do this with my neighbors. It worked out great. One, I have to give a shout out to my wife because she helps me. She sends Christmas cards to all of our neighbors on our street. At first, I'm like, we don't even know them. Like, why am I going to send them a Christmas card? I don't even know if I like them. I was getting a little worried at first. But you know what happened? Now when I see my neighbors walking down the street, hey, Tom, how you doing? Like, to me, those are the things that make a difference when we talk about being in our communities, being an originator that's a self-driven, self-motivated, self-sourcing, right? We're not spending billions and millions of dollars on advertising. You are the billboard. So how are we doing those things? Have you done that? Have you looked at, okay, what would it take me to execute on writing if I look up, and it's great because next door, it's free information. You know who your neighbors are, right? If you got to go on Zillow and look up the information of who they are to mail them, that's what we did. We found their tax information, wrote them a little happy holidays card, and guess what? If they need a mortgage, who do they want to use? They want to use the person that they know, like, and trust, and you're their neighbor. To me, that's a guaranteed. If you're not marketing to your immediate sphere of influence, you're missing out if you're wanting to be not only a top producer, but someone that is finding opportunity in tough times. Next screen. Going back to the basics will strengthen your foundations. We are in a time right now where the biggest measurement of what we can do with success isn't necessarily closings. Right now, it's effort. And I was talking with I have a lot of friends here, so thankfully I love coming to Fuse and getting to meet and talk to them. I was talking to Terry Shelton earlier, and we were talking about effort and how many hours are people working in a week. 40 hours in a week if you are actually doing true work. Not being at work, but being there. is 23.8% of the time, right? That's 23.8% of your week. Look at your schedule and identify, are we putting in the effort to get the results that we want? At 23.8%, I hope my math was right on that. For some reason, it was 26. I think it's 23.8. Somebody can fact check me. Those are the differences, though, when you look. Am I putting in a strong work week? We heard the agent from Detroit talking about starting his morning off right. Same situation. Look at your workday and identify where the opportunities are. There are people that are growing in a shrinking market, and it's not by coasting. It's by the hard work that they're putting in, diving into the relationships that they have. Being intentional on growth is key. You can't, I always say you can't deposit fantasy, right? I mean, we can talk about growth, we can do it, but it's only the action that's going to get us there. Right now, marketing videos to agents has been a massive success for me. It took me a while, and I learned it. It was one of my biggest takeaways when I came to Fuse with Gary Vee, and he talked about posting content. Posting content about the market. You are the source of not only market data, market insights, you need to be educating your sphere of influence. If you are not marketing to your sphere of influence, who is? Is it the retail LO that's beating you? Maybe we need to start looking at that and putting it in. It doesn't need to be, I'm not a market genius forecaster. We have one coming up next, though. I was backstage talking to him from Fannie Mae, chief economist. He has great insights. Copy and relate it to your agent partners. Tell them, hey, you realize interest rates right now are high and the prices are still going up. What happens if they go down? Do prices go down? They're not going to go down. Prices are going to continue to go up. Right now is the best time to buy in the next 5 years. I think the most, how do I say this? The most, worst case appreciation that we're looking at is somewhere between 12 and 14% in the next 5 years, right? These are the messages that we need to be sharing. 2008, when I took a coaching program that was called Path to Buy, and we were talking about this in 2010 when everyone was scared, just like they are today, right? People were still afraid to get in the market. We're seeing things that were collapsed, and we don't know what's going to happen. The market's going to do this, and it was our job as an industry to educate those around us. How many of your neighbors, your friends, everyone is saying, I'm going to wait till rates come down? It's our job to educate them. It's our job to let them know about what is appreciation. How do you realize if you wait to buy that $400,000 house in 5 years, you just probably lost a year's worth of salary you could have made tax-free. You're already paying rent, so help me understand it, Those are the conversations. I think Todd Duncan, when I was listening to him, same thing. That's what he was trying to share with you guys. You are the rainmakers. You need to be able to make sure we're educating those around us, letting them know what's going on in this market, and being intentional with that growth. Besides emailing videos, I'm big on just holding up my cell phone and knocking it done. I'm also big on 3 touches a week. And this is something to where, one, for me, I'm thankful to serve with AIME, but it's a volunteer position. I like helping people. So if you ever need any help and want to reach out to me, please do. I want to tell you that most of the things that I share, not most, all of the things I share are authentic because I do it. I'm not going to stand up and tell you that I'm up here and I think this will work. I do the things and I've tested it. I've lost on some things that didn't work. 3 touches a week to your agent partners, okay? Now, when I had a conversation, I said, man, I'm just going to be annoying them. And I said, well, what are you sharing then? Sometimes for me, that's it. When I get up at 7, somebody get up at 4 or 3, but I get up at 7, I have a reminder that goes off. I text 5 new agents each day, okay? What am I texting them? I'm not talking about the market at that point. I want to make a connection. I want to find out, granted, I know them from some way, like I said, somewhat of a semi-warm relationship, whether it was my neighbor's agent who helped him buy the house. I see a for sale sign as I'm driving out of my neighborhood. I'm taking a picture of that sign and I'm calling that agent. Congratulations on your new listing. I wanted to let you know that I'm a broker in the area. I serve clients and give them great service. We're faster, cheaper, better, but more importantly, I wanted to congratulate you on a new listing. I know it's a tough time right now. Would it be okay if I add you on social media? And if ever there's anything you see of interest, I'd love to have a meeting with you sometime. That took me maybe 15 seconds. These are the intentional steps as originators that are here to get better. I'm just asking, please write some of these things down. If it's not from me, it's from some of the other people, as I guarantee you will see the success that happens when you start taking those actions. Company owners, even brokers that you still, in my opinion, we're all self-employed. It doesn't matter what name, what flag we fly. At the end of the day, you're your own business. I call it corporate events or community events. Another golden opportunity for you to go out and grow and get it, okay? What is a community event? I got Halloween coming up. I have a moving truck. I buy $1,000 worth of pumpkins from some old farmer in my town who, guess what? I got his deal, which was nice. I spent $1,000 on pumpkins and I staple my card right where their kids carve it out, right? 1,000 pumpkins, I get them for $1 a piece, which is nice, helping out the farmer. I gave out 1,000 people in my community. I posted on Nextdoor. We found a little sponsor in our neck of the woods that will give us free beer and some coffee, which works out great. We create a community event, right? We're here to help support and grow in our community. It's the best part about brokers. We're local. Don't care if you work for a company in California or Ohio. You are the business in your market, and you have to take ownership in what it is that you are gaining in the relationships that you're building. Some of these things might cost a little bit of money, but right now is the time to invest when everybody else isn't. The best companies in this country, and I don't even say this country, the world, were created during disturbing times. Right now is a disturbing time in our market, right? You guys all saw that Facebook post going around. We had 181,000 LOs in 2021. Now we're going to be less than 80,000. Does that scare you or excite you? It excites me. You know what that means? The refi LOs that jumped in to be app takers are gone, right? The people that are here today that showed up, paid money in a down market to come learn something and get better, we're the ones that are going to scoop that extra dead weight up and build those relationships. The retail companies going out of business, guess what? Their relationships are up for grab. How are you going to make an impact to be able to take advantage of that? It's not always just, yes, rates are important, speed is great, but we have that. They might even have it on retail. What they don't have, though, is the local aspect of how we operate as brokers. Being able to make sure that we have multiple options to serve our customers, whether they want a DSCR loan or they want a bank statement loan or whatever the case is. They don't have that. You know what they're doing now? They're putting in brokers into our different broker relationships into retail shops and saying, hey, well, here's a good option for you. How does that make sense? To me, I'm still lost by that one. But this is my point. The relationships right now have never been better for us to go out and grow and get it. Okay, next one. I covered our, to me, I think local community is really important. Partner appreciation events, invite your partners to the same thing. If you're giving away pumpkins, every one of your agents, past clients, neighbors, everyone should be invited to it. Mark Summers wasn't able to make it today, unfortunately, but I did a Grow and Get It episode with him that he did corporate sponsorships. And I had to talk with him about, well, what's a corporate sponsorship? And he went into the fact of, he will walk into his neighboring business and say, hey, we'd like to give you a benefit. We're going to help you as a company retain employees by working directly with your company as a preferred lender. I don't know what the company did. They might have been donut makers or something weird. Doesn't matter. They had 50 employees, and now he's the one helping them with client retention, or it would be employee retention, because it's another benefit add, right? You hear people selling benefits all the time. This is something else that, in my opinion, has worked great. We had a company right next door to our new corporate office. I went over, hey, can we do this? Can we give you a free appraisal for every one of your employees? He said, wow, you do that? Yeah, I'll do that. Thanks for partner points. We got it done that way, but it worked really well. Agent Connect is another one. One of the other biggest growth opportunities, I think, for us is mortgage brokers, loan officers. We are financial advisors in the largest investment that most people make. You are a financial advisor from that aspect, okay? You need to make sure that as we are looking at where we're spending our money, Agent Connect with UWM has been phenomenal for us. $250 to have a meeting appointment. You heard that agent say, put it on a list to delegate it or don't. I'm delegating that job for somebody else to set the appointment up for me. If you're gonna spend $2,500 and buy 10 appointments, as a financial advisor to brokers, I would say you're gonna get $150,000 return in 10 years. That's 3 loans a year, $5,000 commission. How many people are taking advantages of the resources that we have as brokers? It's important as brokers that we're resourceful because the resources are here. Go into our lobby with all of our vendors there and talk with them. Have a conversation about what is it that you do different that can help me grow my business. Those are the conversations as originators that we need to make sure that we're having. Planting the seeds of the future. My opinion, I grew up in Ohio. I live in Minnesota now, but I grew up in Ohio in kind of a small farm town. Right now is the time for us to be planting seeds. Planting seeds of new business and new relationships. Everything that I just spoke on, which are great growth activities if you do it, may not bear fruit tomorrow. But if you keep the consistency, you keep working and communicating and showing the character of the person you are, those people are going to start to know, like, and trust you. And who is your best agent right now? Do they know, like, and trust you? Those are the keys to being able to dominate going forward in this next market. Writing those holiday cards. Somebody going to call you right away and, hey, I need a new house. Maybe. But I guarantee if you send it to them 2-3 years in a row, guess what happens? They start sending you Christmas cards. That was kind of cool. I'm like, man, now I actually know my neighbors when they're walking their dog. It creates relationships, which is what our business is if you are a self-generating loan officer. Be intentional about the relationships, okay? My opinion, this is like, for some of you, I've been married now for almost 15 years, but when I was single and I met my wife, it took work. It took work to have a relationship. I had to call. I had to text. I had to send flowers. Your relationships with your agents need to be the same thing. Now, not like I did with my wife. Don't send any inappropriate messages, but you want to be able to, you want to let them know that you want to engage in that relationship with them. I care about your business. How can I help you? You heard it. We had the top agents on them in our industry right now, nationwide, giving you the secret to be able to walk into their office and provide value to them on something other than just, yeah, I have cheap rates. You know, it's a great, we do have them, which is nice, but at the same time, the relationship aspect has to be intentional. CRMs. I don't know how many of you are using Bonzo or any of our other providers, but right now is the time to make sure that the seeds that you already have, that you're tending to that field. Because past clients, how many of you are intentional on calling them? We have great partners in this industry that are doing some of it for us, which is nice. But are you making those calls? Are you calling them on a 3-month, 6-month checkup? Most of us get too busy. And that's where I want to ask you. Too busy for, are you at 23.8% effort in your week? You're too busy to make a phone call on a relationship that is how you are going to continue to not only take care of your family, your team, your kids. This is a business we chose because it's one of the best ever. We get to sell money. But if you don't have people that know, like, and trust you, it's going to make it really tough, okay? Unless you want to chase leads, and I'm not sorry if there's any lead companies out here that do it that way. I like natural relationships to where when people call me, I don't really have rate shoppers. I never did. Some people now, yeah, of course, the market's a little tough, But when they know and you were vetted by somebody that they referred to you or they've known you because they've talked with you prior, you're a past client, these are the tools right now when we will see tomorrow we have another top producer panel. I can almost guarantee you, granted I get to moderate it so I know a little bit because I've talked with them, but it's the same thing. Those that are dominating in this market are investing into relationships genuinely. It's not a hassle for me. I get the privilege, I get to try to just text someone and send them a video. Hey, it's Saturday morning. I hope you're having a great day. I'm available for you if you need a pre-approval. Just wanted to let you know. How much time were we there? With 3 seconds, maybe 5 seconds? Please, I want to see all of those that came to this event. I want to see you grow and get it. It's been an honor. It's been a privilege to be able to be a part of AIME. Thank you all for being here, and let's go out and grow and get it.